The 281?
No. Probably the only time I must have seen that was when I showed that to my son on YouTube. So I don't even have a DVD of my 281.
I can't believe this. VVS Laxman sits with his son to tell him about the 281 that he made, the innings rated as probably the best ever played by an Indian, and he shows it to him on YouTube.
No, absolutely.
Okay, that's 281.
And it's not about me telling him about 281. I'm sure within his friend circle, someone must have told your dad scored 281. So he comes one day and tell, Dad, I believe you got a 281 against Australia, and that's your highest score. And he tells that I want to beat that score. I want to beat that score. Then I had to show him on YouTube.
Now tell me, that 281, where does it sit in your favorite innings? Not most significant innings, but your favorite innings. And the reason I ask you is, I asked Sunil Gavaskar this question once many years ago, and he had made 3400s, hundreds all around the world, and he rates a half century early in his career among his best innings.
I think it would be very similar to me. It would be
so which is your innings that you look back and say, wow, VVS Laxman, you can bat?
My first test against
the 50?
My 50. I mean, there are lots again, but 281 again. It was a significant innings, but I'm not the one who will rate my innings. But I would say 167 against Australia gave me probably more satisfaction than the 281. The 281, why I regard it high is the situation we were in. 274 runs behind, coming and winning the test match. And I always believe that the innings which I played, which helped the team to win the game for India, that are more close to me.
Coming up after the break, the question of saying goodbye and all that happened around it. In 2003-04, was a big phase in your life. You're coming out of the disappointment of the World Cup, and then you started scoring a lot of runs thereafter. Married in 2004?
Yeah, the best thing which has happened in my...
No, you don't have to say it.
I mean, that's a fact. Why not share the fact? Which is a very good fact in my life. And I'm very lucky, fortunate to have Shailaja as my wife. And it was an arranged marriage. My parents were the one who identified her, and fantastic. The kind of wife I looked for.
I'm just thinking there's Shailaja's family. And they're saying, you know what, we've got a proposal for this boy. And they say, who? He plays cricket for India and he goes and hammers the Australians for 100. His name is VVS Laxman. Do you want to marry him?
In fact, Shailaja didn't know about me. Shailaja doesn't follow cricket.
So there's this guy who turns up and
I can tell you that my father-in-law agreed for this proposal because of my parents, not VVS Laxman. I can say that's the kind of they do not research, if you may, about the.
We've all been through that phase.
Yeah, everyone has to go through, especially in arranged marriages. And once he came to know that I was the son of Dr. Shantaram and Dr. Satyabama, they agreed to the proposal because that's the kind of name my parents have got, and they know about our family. And Shailaja didn't know anything about cricket. Shailaja still doesn't know anything about the game.
But isn't that good in a sense?
Fantastic.
Because you're not marrying a reputation, you're just marrying a human being.
Fantastic. And again, credit to Shailaja's parents for the kind of upbringing they gave her, because she is very balanced. She doesn't behave like a celebrity wife.
You don't behave like a celebrity either.
I think again it comes from the values you're inculcated as, especially as you're growing up. The values are very important, and luckily, more than my wife, I think she's fantastic a mother for my kids. And I think they're very fortunate to have such a balanced mother.
There's one phase in life I want to talk. I remember meeting you in Zimbabwe in 2005, and you weren't exactly on top of the world. You weren't exactly feeling wow about playing cricket. Just describe that phase in your life to me, because you were playing really good cricket, and yet you were uncertain. You got left out of a side in West Indies in 2006. Was that happy?
The first 4 years in my career taught me that I should only control the things which are in my control, or think about the things which are in my control. And I believe that is very important for any cricketer who is playing for his country or in India.
Can
or
you keep
anywhere in
that
the world.
unhappiness away when you're going out to bat? Because a person who goes out to bat is not just a batsman.
Yeah.
He's a whole person going out to bat.
I think that's something which is in your control, because and that's the best thing about cricket, and that's the best thing as cricket is your passion, is your love. Because when you go out to bat, you forget everything what's happening behind the scenes. You focus on just doing the thing which you love.
So you weren't happy in that phase?
I in the sense, not only me, I'm sure a lot of people who've been part of the dressing room atmosphere would say that was the worst dressing room atmosphere I have been part of, especially the South Africa series. I remember reaching Potchefstroom for the side game, or prior to that, the one day, because I was called for the last one day and I reached, and I think that was the worst dressing room atmosphere I have faced in my career, where there was no trust between two or your colleagues. And slowly that changed, and I believe that changed from 2007 Bangladesh series and then the 2007 England series.
What was the difference between Greg Chappell, that phase, and Gary Kirsten?
He backed each and every player to play with a relaxed mind. If Sehwag wanted to hit the ball over point, the first ball, he would say, Sehwag, you got the green signal to do that. As long as we stick to our game plan. I'll tell you a quick story. It was at the CCI when we became the #1 test playing nation, and it was against Sri Lanka. We played against Sri Lanka at Ahmedabad. I got a 50 in that match. Second match, I got again another 50, and I was disappointed not converting those stars into a big 100. I was settled. Then at the CCI, again, I get to a 60 and play a rash shot, wanting to hit Muralidharan over mid-on. But I skied the ball and I was out at mid-on. Probably 60, dominating, getting a lot of boundaries. I came back, I was in the changing room and I was very upset. And Gary just walked into the changing room and I told Gary, I'm disappointed. I'm really, I apologize for throwing away my wicket.
That's all you'll say when you're angry anyway. That's as far as...
Yeah, and then the reply from him was, doesn't matter, because that was in your game plan. You just didn't execute that shot properly. And I was really surprised because some of the coaches I played with before will not react in the same manner. And the reason was, before the start of that test match, for 2 days in the nets, I was trying to hit the off spinners over mid-on, because I wanted to put pressure on Murali when he used to come. So that's what Gary always used to do. Preparation was really big. And as long as that's within your game plan, he gave you the liberty to play your game naturally.
Is that why some of you are up till 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning in Gary Kirsten's house telling him not to quit? I'm told there might have been a couple of glasses around, but maybe yours had orange juice in it.
Yeah, mine was fresh lime soda sweet. That's right. This was after the Cape Town test match.
2, 3 in the morning,
Yeah,
you're all
3.
sitting there and telling his wife, don't let him quit.
Yeah, someone has given you the real good stories. Absolutely. And
I
this
think
was...
it might have been her.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
That's the kind of respect we wanted.
Yeah.
We gave to Gary, and we wanted him to continue at least for Test match cricket, because it was going to be an important season for India after the World Cup. We were going to England, we were going to Australia, and Gary had said,